And as you say, day two, Democratic National Convention in the city of Chicago. So obviously we're watching that very closely as the featured speaker tonight, speaking in his hometown, will be former President Obama. Now, Republicans are counter-programming this once again at this very hour. Former President Trump's campaigning in battleground Michigan. He's said to be focused on crime. So that event is just about to start as we monitor it. Let's bring in Trump's former national security advisor, John Bolton. All right, Ambassador Bolton, welcome back to the show. You're always a great guest on political days like this because you don't like anybody. You're one of the double haters, right, that's still out there. What do you make of this race as the Democrats convene in Chicago and Trump tries to take the upper hand on an issue that has been to his advantage, right? Crime, is that something you know, if you were supporting him, you'd like to see him focus on the issues?
Well, I think crime is an important issue, and I think it's something that if Trump could focus on it and stay disciplined, it would benefit him politically. He doesn't seem to like staying disciplined, though. That's been a pattern that a lot of people have remarked on. So we'll see. But I think the Democratic ticket is very clearly to the left. They haven't really tried to move toward the center. I'm really concerned now for the effect of the presidential race on Republican Senate and House candidates. I think it's critical, whoever wins the White House, we get control of the Senate and hopefully keep control of the House. And I think Harris has brought the Democrats back from a deep hole in that regard. It's very concerning. That's
the ticket-splitting type of vote that, you know, someone like you might engage in. I'm interested to hear what you think, there we go, what you think of what's going on with some of the Republicans that are going to Chicago. Put up the screen of Republicans in Chicago with the Democrats, guys, if we have it, to support Harris, because you don't love Trump. We talked about that right off the top, but you got the mayor of Mesa, Arizona, the former lieutenant governor in Georgia. I think a lot of people recognize Adam Kinzinger was involved in the January 6th commission. And then Olivia Troy and Stephanie Grisham are interesting. Both, like, you work for Trump. Grisham's actually going to speak tonight. So what about that effect? Your thoughts on Republicans going all the way, not only away from Trump, but to Harris?
Well, I think these are people who are concerned about what a second Trump term would look like, and who think that really the only option, therefore, is to support the Democrats. I think the most important thing for them to do is not support Trump. In 2020 and again this November, I wrote in somebody. It was Dick Cheney in 2020 and might as well be Dick Cheney in 2024, because I don't think either candidate is fit to be president. But I understand the motives of Republicans who are backing Harris. I hope none of them have lost their conservative credentials. They feel, and in good faith, that they think Trump is so bad that Harris is the only alternative. My only disagreement really is I don't think either one of them are a viable alternative. It's amazing that after all this, these are still the two people the major parties have nominated.
You've articulated why you don't think Trump is fit for to be president. You work for him. Why is Harris not fit to be president? I understand you disagree with her on policies, but you said she's not fit. Why?
Well, I think her performance as vice president has shown that she can't do that job. And so moving her up really makes no sense to me. I think the Democrats have put themselves in a bad position. If they had found a way to get Biden out last year, let him go graciously, they could have had a primary. They could have picked their strongest candidate. I'm not at all sure it would have been Harris.
Thanks so much for watching. Just go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.